Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert here, joined as always by co-host Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel?
Oh, pretty good. I might need a bath though after cheering for the Wild in that game against the Capitals, and they lose anyway in the shootout. So whatever. But otherwise, yeah, it's going all right. A nice Blackhawks win. I guess that the shootouts, the overtimes, they all balance out in the end. The Blackhawks one came through on the power play, and the Wild did not. And thankfully, the Devils won too, which was nice. And once again, the Sharks failed to score more than one goal. In fact, they didn't even score one today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty shitty night. I've betting myself. I had Knights puck line. I did have Sharks team total under. They just can't seem to score. Had the Wild. Another undeserved shootout win for the Capitals when I bet against them. And then it seemed like the Devils and Sabres, both of them just could not make a save whatsoever. But back and forth, just down there to 5-4 final. So not a great night betting, but we still got two games left here on Friday night slate. The Kings and Coyotes and Blues and Canucks. So we'll see how those end up doing. Before we get into it, make sure you check out the Sports Gambling Podcast website, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. That's the place to be. You got all sorts of content up there. You're going to have some more kind of like future stuff, some overreactions and stuff this weekend. So keep an eye out for that. Also, of course, my fantasy hockey piece every Sunday, looking ahead to the next week. Those are always fun as well. Make sure you are also getting the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. I had someone reach out to me on Twitter today asking for the link, so I gave him there. Hopefully he's in there now. And yeah, it's always a good time in there. It's popping off in there, so make sure you get in. If you're not in there, you can reach out to us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. Make sure you follow us there for all sorts of fun content. Or just get in Discord and make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast, sg.pn/hockey for Apple, sg.pn/hockeys for Spotify, or join us here on YouTube Live. On YouTube, search for the Hockey Gambling Podcast and subscribe. All right. Anything else going on here? We just want to get into this Saturday slate.
Well, good to see that Jack Hughes scored a goal today. That's good. It's hopefully not too long before he's the favorite over McDavid. Maybe McDavid misses a few games. We'll see. They're keeping it quiet about whether he's playing in the Heritage Classic or whatever the fuck it's called on Sunday against the Flames there. But it's going to be choppy ice. The outdoor stuff not ideal in terms of player safety. So it'd be a bad idea for him to play. I think if they treasure the most prized asset in the league. It makes sense to not announce him out and get everyone's hopes dashed too early that are going to the event, right? They gotta lead them on, I guess. But maybe they just roll him out there like a prize pig or something, and he ends up just destroying himself. That would be typical Oilers. That'll be a fun event, I guess. There's way too many outdoor games as it is, but Oilers Flames games are always good, so hopefully they can make it a contest. Both of them need the points, so one of them's gonna win.
You mentioned Jack Hughes there scoring for Hart. Are there any future bets you've made in the past week or so? We haven't really had a chance to have a lighter slate where we're recording to go over that type of stuff. Or just Flyers? Just all in on Flyers now?
No, nothing since my smorgasbord of Flyers bets on Wednesday. It's just I guess one little note is that when the player does something, you can't just bet him right after he does something. You have to bet him before the thing happens, right? So Jack Hughes, 20-1, 22-1 before the season. It's too late now, 4 or 5-1. He's already shown that he's right in the mix. So you got to be able to anticipate something happening. So yeah, if you think that he's just going to become the favorite and then McDavid misses a significant time, then you have a case to bet him. But I think it's too late. You missed the bus. Try and catch the next one. Just look for other opportunities. There'll be other guys in the mix going forward. I mentioned McKinnon. I think that he's the best bet at the moment at 12-1 or better, considering how he started and the more there's just more opportunities now with McDavid's uncertainty, how long he might miss, and then just how poor the Oilers have played. Maybe they're just like a wild card team now, and then I don't think McDavid's gonna win the Hart if that's the case. So yeah, it's just keep an eye on things and remember to anticipate something happening rather than just following the chase after the odds already moved.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, Jack Hughes has 17 points in 6 games, which is just absolutely insane. 4 goals, 13 assists. Yeah, like you said, if Edmonton's not dominant in their division, then unless McDavid has a truly dominant season, he probably won't win it. And now, missing a few weeks is going to definitely hurt his chances as well, especially with the Oilers not doing too well overall. Yeah, Jack Hughes down to 4-1 now for Hart. That's probably not worth it. I mean, like you said, you missed it there. But yeah, McKinnon's still there at 12-1. Seems pretty enticing given how the Avs has started, and he's been all over the ice shooting the puck and whatnot there. All right, we're gonna get into this 9-game slate for Saturday, October 28th.
Yes, sir.
All right, kicking it off right here in Philadelphia. We got the Anaheim Ducks at the Philadelphia Flyers. Game itself is in Philadelphia. The Flyers, big home favorites here, -180. Ducks are +150. Flyers on the puck line are +136. The over-under is set at 6. Overpaying off -105. Under is at -115. I'll take this one. I mean, I know we're both big Flyers fans now, but yeah, this is the Flyers at home. Perfect at home now, 3-0, 3 goals, wins by margin, as I like to say in the Discord now. 6-2 over the Wild last night, 4-1 over the Oilers, 2-0 over Vancouver at home. Had the tough losses in Dallas where Samuel Ersson did not play up to snuff there. The tough loss in Vegas as well, where they probably should have earned a point. But Thursday night, I mean, if you watch this Flyers team, they win. They battle. They win battles. They battle for the puck. They keep forechecking. They back check. They're relentless. They have 4 lines they can roll. Even Nick Deslauriers got into the action 2 seconds into the game last night, fighting Patty Maroon off the draw. Got the boys going, and then never looked back. So Flyers here at home against the Ducks. Ducks are no slouch. They've shown now back-to-back wins in overtime in Columbus, and then they handed the Bruins their first loss, but they're going to be feeling good, coming into Philly for a 1 p.m. game, which is, 10 a.m. their time, even if they've been on the East Coast for a few days. It's going to be tough for them to get up for. So, yeah, I think the Flyers are able to shut the Ducks down here. So I love the Flyers -180. Don't mind them on the puck line, +136. They seem to be able to pull away from these teams. I do like the under 6 at -115. I think Thursday night was kind of an aberration with the Flyers going off for 6. I think we'll see more of like a 3-1, 4-1 type game that they got against Edmonton.
Do you know what's going on with Morgan Frost? I hear that he's been missing games for some mysterious reason.
He can't crack the lineup right now. I mean, it's pretty much set. Morgan Frost, or people think he's better than he is. He was a first-round pick. He had a great second half to the year last year, but he's not. Maybe he'll get a change of scenery and blossom, but he's not more than like a second line center at best right now.
Okay, well, second line center, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
but yeah, you like the Flyers here. I can understand that, but I'm not the only one that's really upgraded the Flyers. The market certainly adjusted quickly to how well they played so far, getting them a -180 against a feisty Ducks team who have also they've exceeded expectations this early in the season. So yeah, I think the line is just too high. My line is -156. I'm leaning the Ducks way for sure. They went toe to toe with the Bruins and did not look out of place at all. In fact, they've been there in every one of their games, really. Even beating like the Hurricanes and whatnot. Hurricanes and the Bruins. So that's an impressive start for the Ducks. Goaltending's been good. Yeah, I lean to the Ducks, but I haven't quite bet it yet. Maybe we'll get a better number tomorrow. I don't know. -180 is already too high as it is, in my opinion. But that's the total. I agree with you there. I do like the under. The Ducks have been playing much more defensive hockey under Cronin. He's got them playing a different system than what the Dallas Eakins have had them playing the last couple of years, and the goaltending's been good too. So, yeah, the under 6 I think is a good bet.
Yeah, I think this line, just to be transparent, this line is too high for the Flyers. The only thing I would bet is the puck line, just because I think they're the better team, and that's +136 is decent. But yeah, the under is the best play here. It's already down to 5.5 at some books, so if you can still get it at 6 at -115, I think that's a great price there. Going down to the 6 p.m. slot now. We have the Seattle Kraken at the Florida Panthers. Game itself is down there in Florida. Panthers are minus 162. Kraken are plus 136. Over under at 6.5. Over is at minus 125. Under plus 105. What do you got for this Kraken Cats battle?
This is another one where I think that the line is too high for the home favorite. I'm only at minus 131 for the Panthers, so this is a bet on the Kraken for sure. They were competitive again against the Hurricanes. Just came up short in overtime or shootout. Either way, it was 2-2 at the end of the game. So yeah, I think that the Kraken are the better team here, or at least at this number. This side to back. I mean, they've got over their goal scoring issues that they had early in the season. They're getting some quality chances and whatnot, and then the goaltending has more or less stood up. So yeah, I like the Kraken here. And it's a Panthers game, and then the Kraken have not been an under team at all. So yeah, let's go with the over 6.5 minus 125. I think we can get an open game with plenty of chances for both teams. So yeah, Kraken and the over.
Yeah, I agree with you there on the Kraken. I think, like you said, it is too high of a line for a Panthers team that hasn't shown too much yet. That they beat the Leafs, but then lost to Vancouver. Only beat the Sharks 3-1. I think that was 2-1 for a bit before they pulled away and got the empty netter with 2 seconds left to cover the puck line there as minus 230 favorites. So if you go anyway in this game, it has to be the Kraken at plus 136. They've played better recently. Took the Hurricanes to overtime on Thursday night, won in overtime in Detroit a few nights ago. So the Kraken here as underdogs or some value there, plus 136. But I'm going against you here on the total here, going under 6.5, especially at plus 105. Florida only scored 3 goals against San Jose. Only got 3 against. They've scored 3 goals in each of their last 3 games. So I'm seeing a similar thing here. Probably a 3-2 game either way. Maybe it ends up going 4-3 overtime and you get screwed there. But I think under 6.5 at plus 105, there is some value there. All right, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 and pick 'em Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. And for a limited time, Underdog is extending the first deposit bonus up to $500. $100,000 Sundays continues on Underdog Fantasy. 10 lucky players will win $10,000 each. So watch along and make your picks and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And make sure you get in the NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie giveaway. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog to submit a screenshot of you playing NBA Underdog using our promo code SGPN. And one random winner will win a NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA DOG. All right, here, going down to the 7 o'clock time slot, we have the good original 6 matchup here. We got Detroit Red Wings at the Boston Bruins. Game itself is in Boston at the Gardens. Bruins are minus 192. Red Wings are plus 160. Over-under is at 6. Overpaying off minus 115. Under is at minus 105. Going back to you here. Do you trust the Bruins here to bounce back?
I do, yeah. The Bruins are one of those teams where they usually give much better effort after a loss. And yeah, they were it was a bad spot for them coming off that longish road trip there, playing a Pacific team in the Ducks. It's not exactly a place where they're going to give their effort. But here, divisional matchup at home after a loss, I think the Bruins bounce back in a big way. Minus 192 is still bettable, I think. My line is only minus 186, but given the situation and the fact that the Red Wings I think that they regress a bit in terms of their goal scoring. The Bruins for me, I think I bet them in regulation around minus 125. You could probably still find that somewhere. But yeah, the Bruins are the team for me. And then we got unlucky there with that total going over with the late surge by the Ducks. So yeah, the under 6, I think, would be the play. Just keep backing these Bruins unders. I think they tighten up, get some more elite goaltending. And like I said, the Red Wings scoring will regress. So yeah, the Bruins and the under for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it a few shows ago that the Red Wings were due to regress after their 6-1 start. They now lost back-to-back games at home against Seattle and Winnipeg. Now they got to go down to Boston against a Bruins team that is coming back from a game that they definitely shouldn't have lost. They were up 3-1 going into the third. I didn't realize the Ducks tied it with 15 seconds left, and then eventually won in overtime for them. So yeah, I think Boston here bounces back. It is tough to pay -192 juice. Maybe use it as a 2-team parlay. Use the Bruins as 1/2 there, but I think it's safe enough there at -192 or regulation, like you said. All their wins so far have been in regulation, all except one by 2 goals. So maybe look at the puck line +114 if that's more your thing. And yeah, I think I do lean to the under 6 at -105. Bruins just been playing straight under games until last one, unfortunately, did go over. And then Detroit, their scoring has to come down. I mean, they put up 4 against Seattle, but only 1 against Winnipeg. So could see a very similar score to 3-1, 4-1 here for the Bruins. All right, so at 7 o'clock again here, we have the Ottawa Senators at the Pittsburgh Penguins. Itself is in Pittsburgh. Penguins are -155. Senators are +130. Over unders at 6.5. Over paying off -130. Under is at +110. Before we get into this one, I gotta make sure we note that Thomas Chabot is going to be out. I think I saw 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand or something like that. Eric Brandstrom's already out due to a concussion. I thought he had a scary hit. Zub has been out a while for them. So Sens are taking hits left and right, and they're losing. They've lost 3 in a row. They've lost 3 key defensemen there. So I as much as I hate to say it, I like the Penguins here. I would take the Penguins on the puck line +160. They got a 4-0 win against Colorado, kind of turned things around there after 3 straight losses. So looks like they may have found something there against a good team. Meanwhile, Ottawa's searching for answers, and they're having guys going down left and right. So I think this would be a much bigger line. If this was a week from now, when you see how much the Senators are going to struggle without these guys. So yeah, Korpisalo has not been looking good. Jari's been looking decent. So Penguins -155, that's fine. But I like the puck line too, +160 for a total. I don't mind the under here again, under 6.5 at +110 at plus odds. Pittsburgh's played 3 straight unders, may have been able to find something defensively. So I like the Penguins and the under here.
Well, I had these teams pretty evenly rated before the injury news came out. And even after subtracting 5 points from the Sens, I still only get to -122, or from the Sens, rather. I only get to -122 for the Pens, so there's still value on the Sens. I think that they can, they don't have much depth on the right side. I think Travis Hamonic, let's go Canucks, 1-0. Quinn Hughes, even better. Fuck yeah.
Ooh,
yes. Okay. So the Sens' best right D now is Travis Hamonic. Apparently, he's going to be on their first pair most likely. But they still got plenty of guys on the left side. Sanderson, Chychrun, awesome players. And I think that they can compensate for the last loss of Chabot, who is he's no longer the guy who was playing 30 minutes for them in the first half of last season. So they couldn't absorb him last season because they didn't have these guys back there. But this season is a different story. So yeah, I think the Sens are still a play after 3 straight losses. They're going to come back here with a nice win. They were in those games too. They were the better team against Detroit, for instance, and the other 2 were kind of like even games. So yeah, this is a good spot for the Sens to bounce back. So give me the Senators, and the over 6.5. I think that the Pens, they shut down the Avalanche, but that was that was a do or die kind of game. That you got the best effort there, especially defensively, and I still expect them to pick up the goal scoring at some point. So the over 6.5 here is quite good, especially considering how poor the Sens goalies have played so far. So yeah, Sens and over.
All right, Aaron, going down to 7 o'clock again. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Nashville Predators. Game itself is in Smashville down there in Music City. Predators home underdogs +120. Maple Leafs, DraftKings still hanging -142 there. Over under is at 6. Overpaying off -120. Under +100. Joel, am I crazy, or is -142 just way too good for the Leafs in this one?
Well, this is a good number. You mentioned in the Discord that DK had the best price on them, but I'm still not buying it because Samsonov, I believe, is the one starting this game, and he is going. I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah, he is. He's confirmed.
Yeah, and he's been having some some mental issues. He's been trying to work through it with one of the Leaf staffers. So it's not the Wall, who's been playing great since coming in as the starter the last few games. So yeah, it's a mystery now with the goaltending for the Leafs with Samsonov and net, who's had a terrible start to the year. And yeah, they've been working on the defensive stuff. They got a clear win against the Stars, but that was against Wedgwood instead of Ottinger. So no real play on the side. Although my number's only minus 130, so it's pretty much what this line is here. I'd be looking to back the Preds though at a plus 130 or better. That's where I'd be looking. They've been competitive in pretty much every game too. So yeah, I think that's the way I look. And then the over 6. I think the Leafs they can't quite mask their defensive deficiencies forever. I think that it'll open up, although maybe with Samsonov and net they play it very conservatively. Who knows? But given the fact that Samsonov has looked terrible so far, I think that the over is the only way you can look for the total here.
Yeah, I guess reading into it more, this is the fifth game on the road trip for the Leafs. And like looking at the advanced numbers, I did not realize the Predators are behind only the Kings and the Avs in terms of expected goals per percent at 5-on-5. Meanwhile,
they play some good teams too.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Maple Leafs down there at 49% and then not 19th best. So maybe I should be giving the Preds more credit, but I'm going with the Leafs here. Leafs 3 straight wins, 4-3, 4-1, 4-1, all on the road there against Tampa Bay, Washington, and Dallas. Still not sure what to make of Nashville. I think they are probably better than I give them credit for, but with the Leafs at minus 142, I'm all over that for Saturday night here. For the total, probably a pass on the total. I would lean to the under just because I like the Leafs and I see another 4-2, 4-1 game like they've been playing recently. But if you think Nashville might win, it's going to probably be an over game. Like you said, Brunette likes to play faster. So, Nashville put up 5 the other night against San Jose. So you could see like a back and forth 4-3, 5-4 game or something like that here as well. But I think it's going to be the Maple Leafs and the under for me. All right, going down to the other 7 o'clock slot here. We have the Winnipeg Jets at the Montreal Canadiens. The game itself is in Montreal. Jets are minus 142 on the road. Canadians are plus 120 at home. Same lines as the game before. Over-unders at 6.5. Over paying off plus 100. And the under is at minus 120. Once again here, I'm going with the road favorite at minus 142. I think the Jets are just simply a much better team than the Canadians, even if the Canadians are 4-2-1 and the Jets are 4-3-0 this season. Jets have now won 3 straight games over Edmonton, St. Louis, and Detroit. Montreal has been going back and forth recently. Did have the win in Columbus, but lost to the Devils. Had won 3 of the past 4, so they are playing better than I thought. But I think the Jets are just a much better team here, especially with the injuries to the Canadians already without goalie, who is apparently questionable Saturday, so that's good for them. But David Savard, we touched on last show, he's out till late December. He's a big guy for them. So I like the Jets here. I think the Jets are still one of those undervalued teams in the league. 3 straight wins here, 3 straight unders as well. So that's probably the way I would be looking, under 6.5 minus 120. But my only bet so far is on the Jets at minus 142.
This is a very cheap price for the Jets. This is the biggest discrepancy from my line and the lines of DraftKings. My line is minus 182. Ooh. So that's a 40-cent difference there. And just think about it. Like the Canadiens, they were marginally the worst team against the Blue Jackets. And then in that game, they closed just a pick 'em against the Blue Jackets. And so that would mean just a 30-cent difference between the Jets and the Blue Jackets, which doesn't make sense to me. The Jets are a far, far better team than the Blue Jackets. So yeah, this line should only go up towards Winnipeg unless it's going to be whoever the backup is. I'm terrible backup goalies, but the only way
Larry Brossois back up in Winnipeg.
Yeah, right. So if he starts, that's the only way I see Canadians getting money. But it shouldn't be him. Not on like a Hockey Night in Canada game. Unless the Jets play on Sunday, which they do not. So yeah, give me the Jets here. Love this bet. Over 6.5, kind of lean that way. Canadians, they're an offensive team. We go over this all the time. Not the most defensively structured. And they're getting some unsustainable goaltending, I think, from Jake Allen, who has had a terrific start to the year. I don't think that that'll continue all year long. So you can't count on that. But I haven't bet the total at all. But very strong play on the Jets here.
All right. We are also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we got one more final game on the 7 o'clock time slot here. We have the New York Islanders at the Columbus Blue Jackets. The game itself is in Columbus. We have the Islanders at minus 155. And the Blue Jackets at plus 130. Over-under is at 6, with the over 6 paying off minus 115. The under 6 is at minus 105. This is a game, I'm pretty close to passing on here. I'm not sure what to make of the Islanders whatsoever so far early in the season. They've been getting outplayed and winning. They've been outplaying teams and losing. It's been weird, but also Columbus has just been really bad, especially without Patrick Laine. They've been getting points, 3 straight overtime games with one win in there, but haven't been able to get real over the hump here. I guess if I had to bet it, I'd go with the Islanders minus 155. I think they're clearly the much better team. They have playoff aspirations. They, should be on the cusp of the playoffs, while Columbus will be towards the bottom of the standings, especially in the Metro there. So if I had to bet it, it would be the Islanders minus 155. For the total, probably go with the under here, but Columbus has been playing a lot of open hockey recently. But yeah, no real strong play on this game, but if I had to, I'd go Islanders and the under.
Well, I implied earlier that the market had a little bit too much respect for the Blue Jackets, and it's the same thing here again, but not enough respect for the Islanders, who played very, very well early on the season. Like last year, they were dependent on Sorokin to bail them out of so many games, but he's been kind of average so far this year. So they've been performing well as a team, not relying on their goaltending, which I love to see. My line is minus 160, so I'm all over the Islanders here. Blue Jackets have a decent start to the year in terms of results, but they're still a below average team. I think that they're still one of the worst teams in the East. Meanwhile, the Islanders are, I think they're playing better this year than they were last year. And a big part of that is Bo Horvat fulfilling that center role, which they desperately needed to get the depth there. So I love the Islanders here. Total, it's a case of two vastly different teams in terms of style of play, in terms of how they like to defend and how they like to score. So that's why it's right here at 6 minus 15. Total pass on the total. I mean, I guess I lean to the over just because Sorokin, you can't, he hasn't been elite so far. So maybe this line includes him as a top 3 goalie in the league. So, but he hasn't been so far. So lean to the over, but I haven't bet that. But I do like another road favorite here in the Isles.
All right, going down to the 10 o'clock time slot here, we have the New York Rangers at the Vancouver Canucks. Game itself is out there by Joel in Vancouver. Canucks are plus 130. The Rangers are minus 155. Over-under is at 6. Over paying off minus 115. Under is at minus 105. What do you think about your Canucks here, Jolie?
Right. Well, I'm watching the game as we speak here, and they are totally destroying the Blues in this first period. The Blues keep taking dumb penalties, and that's inflating the shot total. But even 5-on-5, the Canucks are absolutely killing it, which is good to see. But of course, this will be a back-to-back, so you can't expect the same kind of energy. That said, the Rangers are, not a team that I'm buying. I think that they're still a little bit too respected by the market. I know they just beat the Flames, but the Flames just can't score for shit. It's just, I'm not backing the Rangers here at all. If anything, I just wait for a better number on the Canucks. And I don't even know who's playing in net. The puck's been in the St. Louis zone the
It's
whole
the
time.
Smith tomorrow is confirmed, so it must be
Okay.
them coming
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. So we'll get some Rangers money for sure then. Yeah, so I would wait for a better Canucks price, if anything. And in that case, give me the over 6. Shesterkin's been good, but he hasn't been Igor good. Same kind of thing as the Sorokin deal. So, yeah, I think that I like the over better in this one. The Canucks still not great defensively, but they do have a lot of offensive firepower. And same kind of thing goes for the Rangers, except that they have a better defense. I'll give them that, but also some potency on the offensive side of the puck. So I lean to the over, wait for a better number on the Canucks.
I'm going against you on both of these. I love the Rangers here at minus 155. I did get a minus 140 earlier today on FanDuel. That is still hanging there at minus 141 on Canby books as well. So you can get that possibly if you like the Rangers. I just like how they're playing right now. I mean, I know no McDavid, the Oilers are different, but they shut them out 3-0, beat Calgary 3-1, beat Seattle 4-1, 3 straight road wins there, wins in 4 of their past 5. Meanwhile, Vancouver, good back-to-back wins there in Florida, Nashville, coming back home now after a few days off, might be a little bit rusty there. So I like the Rangers here a lot, minus 155. I think Peter Laviolette is going to be definitely a Jack Adams candidate, especially if the Rangers can somehow win the Metro, which may not be too difficult with how the Hurricanes are doing, but the Devils are looking good. But yeah, I like the Rangers here. Playing good hockey now, playing good road hockey. They're limiting teams opposition chances, limiting opposition goals, even if Shesterkin's not playing, his Vezina quality level. And it's a back-to-back for the Canucks with their worst goalie in net. So I like the Rangers, and I do like the under 6 at minus 105. Rangers have been playing a lot of under games recently. Could see the Canucks play, a little bit, slower, not much offense on a back-to-back. So like the Rangers minus 155, and I like the under 6 at minus 105.
The Rangers will have to have a Bruins-esque season for Lavi to win the Jack Adams. And just say that, and it's not happening because basically the award gives credit to coaches who improve the team, and the Rangers would have to do a lot better than they did last year, and they were close to winning the division last year, so they would need to go over by 25-30 points in order for it to be considered, which isn't happening. So don't bet Lavi. That's my opinion. I mean, you bet him if you want, but I certainly wouldn't.
I mean, his odds are also probably way too low compared to the other ones.
That's how this market works. It is.
Yeah.
Let's the good teams. Let's make their Jack Adams price the coach of their team. Just shorten those instead of the teams that have the most room for improvement. They're the ones that are the long shots, which is why I love this market. You just keep betting the long shots, and you'll make a profit. So that's my outlook on Lavi for Jack Adams.
Yeah, that's a good point there. All right, we have one more game on the docket here, down at 10:30. At the Vegas Golden Knights at the Los Angeles Kings. Game itself is in Los Angeles. The Kings are minus 105. Golden Knights are minus 115. Over-under is at 6. Over paying off minus 120. Under is paying off plus 100. And the Kings are currently losing 4-1 in the first period down there in Arizona. So you know what? Maybe they'll pack it in and get ready for Saturday night against Vegas. But Vegas is going from Vegas to LA. After their first loss of the year, lost 4-3 to Chicago in overtime. So they're going to be looking for a bounce back effort. Both teams here are going to probably be looking for a bounce back effort in a back-to-back. I haven't bet this game yet, but looking at how they performed, Knights are 1-5 in their last 6 on no days rest. The Kings are 4-0 in their last 4 on no days rest. I'm pretty sure all of them, if not all but one, were last season. Yeah, all were last season for both of those teams. So they are different teams now, but I do think the Kings do have more depth. And, it should be Talbot tomorrow with Copley tonight. I'm not sure who started for Vegas tonight. Probably Hill, so it's going to be Thompson.
Hill.
Both of those are still pretty good tendies there. But, yeah, I think the Kings at home minus 105 would probably be the play. No bet yet. I want to see how this game plays out Friday night, if they were able to come back against Arizona. If they do, if they have a lot of energy exerted there, then I probably stay away. The total... Yeah, probably the same thing. Pretty much a pass right now. Maybe lean to the over. The Kings have scored 6 against Arizona, 7 against the Wild, 5 against the Jets, 5 against the Canes. So yeah, maybe look at the over here, over 6 at minus 120, with a lean to the Kings.
Yeah, I'm. It's just my line is minus 106 for the Knights. They're a significantly better team, I think. I'm surprised. I guess because I haven't really upgraded the Knights so far this season. Not really a true believer in their 7-0-1 record as indicative of how good they are. I think that they'll come down a little bit. Although they've got a pretty strong grasp on the division already, given the fact that the other teams haven't really been performing, especially Edmonton, which was supposed to be their main rival for that title. But yeah, -106. But the fact that the Golden Knights are in a better position here, playing earlier today, 4 hours earlier than the Kings, they'll have a little bit more time to rest. And the Kings, you mentioned they were in Arizona. In fact, they are in Mordor, the land of the shadows, and apparently they're getting fucked up by them. So that's good to see. And coming back to California, it's going to be like, Frodo, he didn't look too good coming back from Mordor, and he's going to be all busted up, laid up. The Knights are going to get there to LA probably before the Kings, I would expect. And yeah, I think the Knights are the play here. After the loss to the Blackhawks, kind of embarrassing. Logan Thompson in net. Who's playing for the Kings tonight in net? Do you know?
It's Copley tonight.
All right, so it'll be what's his face? I don't know.
Cam Talbot, Talon's boy.
They're both about equal, so that doesn't really matter.
Oh, apparently Copley was pulled after 6 shots, so we'll see who to go back to tomorrow.
Oh, that's not good either. So give me the Knights here, -115. I think that only rises over the course of the next 24 hours. And the total, no idea on the total, especially because we don't know what the hell's going on with the Kings goaltending situation. I guess I'll lean to the under. I think the Knights can buckle down, at least until the third period, which is when they start scoring their goals. I had for the show purposes, I had the team total under 3.5, and the Knights scored 2 in the first 5 minutes, right after I said that they only scored in the third period. But thankfully, they only scored once more in the third period, of course.
Yeah,
but
you did have that there.
Yeah, so Knights and slight lean to the under.
Yeah. All right. That's the 9-game slate on Saturday, October 28th. We do have a few consensus plays here. We have the Ducks Flyers under 6, -115. We have the Kraken +136. We have the Bruins -192. Or maybe look at regulation if you like that. And then the Winnipeg Jets at -142 at Montreal. Our best bets, our intern has not calculated them from our last show, which I think was last Saturday. But going into that, we were both 1 and 2.
I think we're both 1 and 3 now.
I think we're
At least
both.
I am.
I think I had the Flyers Stars under 6, which did not go under 6 because Hart and Ottinger did not start. So, looking to bounce back here. Who do you got? What's your best bet here going to be?
I forgot about this part, but I mentioned the biggest discrepancy. You have to go with the Jets here, -142. That line should only go up, and it should, because the Jets are a significantly better team than the Canadiens, certainly more than this -142 line suggests. So yeah, all over the Jets in this one. I think I've chosen the Jets like 3 times for these in our 2-man shows. But we're going back to the well.
Yeah, you've chosen at least once before. They were -120, and
I think I'm 1-1 on the Jets. So we're going 2-1 after Saturday.
All right, yeah, Jets are up there as a consideration for me, but I'm going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs, also at -142. Another road favorite. I think they're just a better team than Nashville. Maybe the long road trip will get to them, but I think -142 there is a great price on Toronto.
Both -142. Huh?
Yeah. If you're listening to this on Saturday, and it gets up to -150, -160, probably stay away from the Maple Leafs. But I think this is a good price here, and the market seems to be settling around -145, -155, which 10 cents, but that's fine. All right, I think else you want to touch on here before we close it out.
Not really. It's going to be a fun day of sports once again. Saturday. How's the baseball looking? Do you know the odds in that?
Baseball game 1 is currently going on tonight. The Diamondbacks are beating the Rangers 5-3 there, so it'll be interesting. Game 2 is on Saturday night, so we'll see.
So I guess you don't have any bets then.
I have some futures on the Rangers, so the Diamondbacks are probably going to win.
Shit.
Yeah,
life of a Philly sports fan.
That's how it's been going. Especially after I let my Panthers bet ride in the Stanley Cup when I should have hedged.
No, you did hedge, except with all the wrong fucking Conn Smythe guys.
Everybody, I listened to Talon. Talon said Marchessault could not win the Conn Smythe, so I was like, all right.
You should have listened to me. You should have listened to me.
No, I had already missed the boat on Marchessault. I was too deep on Eichel and Stone. And I think you even put some on Aiden Hill.
Oh yeah, early in the playoffs when he was like 800 to 1. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but no, I said not to bet the Conn Smythe guys because there's too many options, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was why I just put it on the Knights, and
Yeah.
that's the way she goes. But I still don't think that he should have been minus 400, whatever, going into Game 5. Like
No, that was too much.
2-1. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's our show for Saturday's slate there. We'll be back next Monday we got a weird slate next week. We got 9 games Monday, only 2 Tuesday, 4 Wednesday. So we'll see if we can get something out for you Sunday night. Maybe a solo show. Maybe I'll bring a guest on. I know how tough it is to record there on weekends for us, but we'll be back in full swing next week. Hopefully Talon can join us there, get his things in order. I believe he is back to working days, so that's going to be okay. Yeah, we'll have more fun segments next week. Now that we don't have too many games to talk about, we won't have a Frozen Frenzy where we have a 2-hour podcast for 16 games. So go back to the normal swing of things, normal fun that the Hockey Gambling Podcast has. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Gambling Podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify. Also subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. And get in the Discord. You can just go to sg.pn/Discord, or you can reach out to myself or the Hockey Gambling Podcast Twitter account, and we'll point you in the right direction. I'm Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
I'm Joel Meyer, and you'll find me riding the Canucks till death, baby. Let's go. What a first period.
See ya. Or not. I guess we're not, and I guess the stream isn't ending.
Did you hit the button?
I hit end stream. I'm getting the circle now.
Oh, okay. Well, you have bonus time.
This is bonus time for all the people in the chat.
Yeah, the one person
that's having trouble connecting.